Welcome viewers to the Saturday, April 19th edition of 284 News. I am Jacques Wooding, bringing you our top stories from this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with news that Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley and U.S. Virgin Islands Governor Albert Bryan have agreed to form a marine task force to look at policy issues as they seek to navigate the complexities surrounding charter fee increases. The two leaders met for a second round of talks on Tuesday, April 15th, this time in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Premier Wheatley said he was pleased with Governor Bryan's level of understanding of the BVI's need to increase the fees.
The discussions were excellent in my view. We decided, of course, that we would form a marine task force to take a closer look at policy and regulatory issues. You know, I made a real commitment to ensuring that the boaters that come from the United States Virgin Islands, that they're processed more quickly, and that we use technological solutions at our disposal to ensure that the boaters, our friends from the USVI, they have maximum access. So instead of waiting in lines at our ports, they're on the beach at White Bay or at the Bats having a good time. And beyond that, I want to see how we can come closer together and ensure that the economic prosperity is grown, that the pie is grown for us, and that we can effectively compete with other jurisdictions by the quality of the service and that persons get value for money. So all in all, of course, we've decided that discussions will continue, but I would say that we've agreed probably about 95% of what's needed to be agreed. We did make some level of concessions based on friendship and, you know, based on the robust negotiation from the USVI. We have made some concessions, and possibly there may be more concessions to come once we go back and we crunch the numbers. But all in all, I'm very pleased. Just the spirit of friendship that has been displayed today.
Governor Bryan believes that negotiations were done fairly, and he sees why the cost needs to be increased.
When we talk about the negotiation, a couple of things we were concerned about: fair, competitive, and then efficiency. Fair in terms of what does it cost to operate a charter business in the Virgin Islands, U.S., and then versus the BVI. And when we look at the numbers, an average charter boat, not even company, is contributing like $40,000 annually to the government compared to the Virgin Islands, where that number is probably hovering around $26,000. So as you can see, there's a competitive advantage already for our charter vessels, and it really isn't fair for us to be able to send a boat over to the BVI unlimited, and their charter boats who are nestled there, employ people who work there, eating there, getting rents there, they're having the same amount of payment as a U.S. Virgin Islands. So we looked at an option where there is unlimited access, but there's a cost for that. And I think that negotiation went back and forth, but we settled on a number that I think both of us can live with. The other thing we wanted to make sure is it's competitive. As we move forward, what is our strategy for the charter boat business? We want to grow our business certainly in a way that creates opportunities for our local people to work, but certainly to bring in dollars, maximum dollars as possible. Because we are not competitors. We actually are collaborators. We both agree that the U.S. Virgin Islands is a product of the BVI tourism, and BVI is a product of the USVI tourism. Without their charter boat industry, without our airports, we're not as attractive. And we want sailors to come to the Greater Virgin Islands, not to go to St. Martin, Anguilla, or Puerto Rico. So competitive, we want to make sure that we stay competitive in the market. And finally, efficient. To Premier's point, we don't want people sitting in customs lines. We want them on the beach. We want them having a great experience, entry and exit into our ports. So one of the things that I think is great is the computerization. Everybody's electronic now. making sure that people can get in and get out in a quick way. They can pay electronically, which puts money in the government's coffers much quicker. Those are the kind of things we want. So what we want to do is have some government people, have some industry people on this Marine Council to talk about improvements in the system and how we can make it better every single step of the way. But that all starts with conversation, and certainly we understand what it means about budget shortfall, that these monies are not just arbitrary monies, but these are monies that are needed to pave roads, build schools, create infrastructure, water lines, sewer. Small island economy is incredibly difficult. The BVI does not have a $23 billion rebuild package like we do. So we are very cognizant of that and know that if we share, it all comes out for the best. So thank you, Premier, for coming over today and your team. I think it was a great meeting, and we look for great things in the future.
Meanwhile, the territory could have a sexual offenders registry soon, as the BVI observes Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month in April. The Minister of Social Development, Vincent Wheatley, emphasized that it is equally important to foster a culture where children feel heard, valued, and safe to speak up. To this end, Minister Wheatley stated that the Ministry of Health and Social Development is committed to this mission, and one of their critical efforts in this regard is the advancement of the Sexual Offences Bill.
It will introduce trauma-informed practices for survivors, mentorship initiatives, and implement tracking systems for sexual offenders following their reintegration into society. In addition, the bill will enable the creation of a sexual offenders registry in the territory so that survivors are supported and communities are safer. But let me be clear and emphasize once more, keeping our children safe is a collective effort. It is not the responsibility of one group. It calls on all of us to remain vigilant, to listen when children speak, and to stand firm against any form of abuse or neglect. It calls for all of us to create a safer environment for our children, ensuring they grow up in a community that prioritizes their well-being and security.
The Social Development Minister noted that this month and always, they are reminded to reflect on their shared responsibility to protect the most vulnerable among them, their children.
I encourage all residents to wear blue on 25th April to show a visible sign of our united front against child abuse. Let it serve as a beacon of your support for child protection efforts and your commitment to preventing abuse and neglect. Let it serve as a beacon of our collective resolve to build a world where every child is safe, seen, and supported. As we reflect on protecting our children, we must also consider how we uplift and embrace every child, including those with diverse abilities. This April, we also observe Autism Awareness Month under the theme, Celebrate Differences. Autism is not a limitation. It is a different way of experiencing the world. And in recognizing this, we are reminded that inclusion is not just about accommodating differences, it is about valuing them. Children and adults on the autism spectrum have incredible gifts to share. It is our role as a society to ensure that they are understood, accepted, and supported to reach their full potential. Here in the Virgin Islands, the Social Development Department's Disabilities Unit plays a vital role in this work. Through specialized care, awareness programs, and direct support to families, they are championing a community that values inclusion and fosters acceptance and belonging for all. Protecting children and embracing those with autism are not separate causes. They are united by a common purpose, the creation of a more compassionate and inclusive society. A society where every person, regardless of their background, ability, or circumstance, is seen, supported, and empowered to flourish. Together, let us raise our voices, lift our hearts, and commit to building a Virgin Islands where no child is harmed, no difference is feared, and everyone has a chance to live with dignity, safety, and to reach their full potential.
And viewers, with that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman by yours truly, Ron Grant, presents Season 7. Introducing Travi Rose, Creative Director. Alex Lake, Businessman. Sean Black, Cinematographer. Dakari Wheatley Adams, Content Creator. Donandre Millwood, Educator and Musician. Hashim Dream, Entertainer. James Todman Sr., Contractor. Dr. Albert Tompkins, Psychotherapist. Walter Barrett, Author. Rakim Todman, Producer and Engineer. Kamal Letson, Photographer. Roosevelt Smith III, Sales Manager and Hospitality Professional. Leland Abraham, IT Technician and Cybersecurity Analyst. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 7, every Wednesday at 8 p.m., exclusively on 284 Media. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redefine yourself through the stories of real-life heroes. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 7, Raising a Generation of Greatness. Voted Top 35 Gentleman Podcast Worldwide by FeedSpot and BI Icon Award winner.
That's just not cricket.
No sweat, you with CG. Remember my street dance battle against Seamus O'Leapsy? I went on to win the title Miss Irish-ish, set to perform at nursing homes around the world. Then this happened. Seamus on you, Seamus. Anyway, I was covered. Let's bounce.
Comprehensive motor cover for damage and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Just give me my service. Yeah. Just give me my service. Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. At Sea Trade Cruise Global 2025 in Miami, regional leaders gathered to discuss the future of the cruise industry, focusing on tourism opportunities, environmental sustainability, and port infrastructure. The BVI booth attracted the attention of several key figures, including Jason Charles, chairman of the West Indies Company Limited Board. During the event, Charles sat with Minister for Communications and Works, the Honorable Kai Reimer, and Junior Minister for Culture and Tourism, Honorable Luce Hodge-Smith, to explore how collaboration could help the territories better serve the growing number of cruise passengers arriving in the region.
Well, Minister, you know, we have such a good personal relationship. Yeah. But since we're on record, I'm going to say, Honorable Minister Reimer, it's a pleasure to invite me to your booth again this year. Yeah. It's always a pleasure to see you. Of course, for those who may not know, I'm Jason Charles, the chairman of the West Indian Company Board, which is located in St. Thomas. We are the largest of the ports that bring cruise ship passengers in. We have about 5 brands that sit under our purview. So I'm happy to be here with you all and to just have a discussion regarding the industry, regarding, you know, our partnership with each other, British Virgin Islands and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Okay, thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Reimer. I mean, it wouldn't be fair. We sat at your booth, yes. You know, we enjoyed some of the trinkets. We had a good conversation over there. Nice, yeah. But it's good that you're now at our booth, so, you know, you'll see the activity that is happening here, but it all is in collaboration with what we do.
Correct.
And you have that relationship with our ports in the BVI, where you have direct dialogue in terms of where there's issues, where there's collaboration necessary, and you have a good relationship with the chair as well.
Yes. So I missed her this year, which is Miss Herbert. Miss Roxanne Herbert. So, you know, but we dialogue all the time. We have group messengers. We talk about what's going on in the industry, what may impact us. When there's ships that from the Virgin Islands U.S. Virgin Islands, that may, you know, overwhelm our ports, so we may not have room. We pick up the phone or we call to see you guys and say, hey, listen, do you have room to accommodate these ships? Because we want to make sure that you guys are right next to our neighbors. Want to make sure that you all are able to acquiesce to us and we acquiesce to you all.
Yeah, indeed. And we're right next door at C-Trade as well. We're just a couple booths away. So
literally a stone throw away.
The conversation highlighted a key challenge faced by both territories: managing port capacity while maintaining the tourism experience for both locals and visitors.
Well, we're speaking destination. We're just not speaking ports. Because what happens affects the islands, the territories as a whole. For instance, you speak about your ports being overwhelmed. You know, it spills over into the social aspect of your community as well. And, you know, how do your residents feel when they see this many cruise passengers on your shores? We have the same problem as well. What do you do to mitigate against that?
Well, you know, I think we've watched the industry change over the course of the years, and so we've always had to figure out ways to accommodate. But the industry is now expanding exponentially, a lot faster than our infrastructure can handle. And so we're now in the process right now of saying how can we realign? What can we be able to do to advance the transportation of people so that folks that may come from downtown can get to Megan's Bay, and it doesn't take 30 minutes to get there because that a window of time that they're not able to enjoy the islands. So those are the logistical challenges that we're facing.
Environmental concerns also came to the forefront during discussions, particularly regarding emissions from cruise ships.
How are your citizens or residents responding to the environmental issues from the cruise ships in terms of the smoke and stuff? And it was good to learn that the ships are very conscientious as well, and they are working towards enhancing and kind of getting rid of all that emission and stuff like that with the new technology that they're using to not have the smoke coming out and, you know, citizens being concerned that it's detrimental to their health. How are you dealing with it on your end?
So there's two ways to answer that question. First is, you know, because we're a U.S. port, we are subjected to EPA rules. So as such, we have a baseline, a framework that we have to follow, or they have to follow when they come into our port. That's one. The second piece of it is we have a very, very, I wouldn't say, I don't want to use the word restrictive, but very, very highly regulated planning and natural resources that really monitor how you know these ships and the consumptions and you know because when ships come they want to be able to they also want to get rid of their trash as well. So we have to look at all those environmental impacts in our community.
Meanwhile, BVI athletes competing at U.S. Collegiate track and field events recorded impressive performances last weekend with multiple personal bests and 2 national championship qualifications. More in this report. Janaya Deming and Diamone Thomas, both representing Highland Community College, qualified for the national championships following standout performances at the Arkansas Spring Invitational. Deming set a personal best in the 400 meters with a time of 58.66 seconds and anchored Highland's 4x100 meter relay team to a school record of 46.66 seconds. Thomas secured her nationals berth with a qualifying time of 14.30 seconds in the 100-meter hurdles, finishing 4th in her heat. This performance improved on her previous season best of 14.64 seconds and earned her 12th place overall. Thomas also ran the first leg of the record-breaking 4x100 meter relay team and was recently named Scottie of the Week after running 12.54 seconds in the 100 meter dash. In field events, Jaimon Gubbs claimed first place in the shot put at the NSU Leon Johnson Invite with a throw of 18.59 meters. Kimberly Smith also secured a gold medal, leaping 6.01 meters in the long jump at the Whitworth Jeffron Classic. Kaiba Dawson, described as BVI's Superman, jumped 7.70 meters for third place in the long jump at the 44 Farms Team Invitational. Andre Smickle posted a strong performance in the discus throw with 47.06 meter effort at the Katie Woodman meet. On the track, Wanye Bell set a new personal best in the 200 meters with a time of 20.74 seconds, finishing third at the prestigious Crimson Tide Invitational. Sprint specialist Jaleel Correll broke the 48-second barrier in the 400 meters, setting a personal best of 47.96 seconds at the South Florida Invitational. Rounding out the BVI's achievements, Tyrese James finished second in the 200 meters for the Iowa Trojans with a time of 21.50 seconds. The strong showings across multiple U.S. Collegiate competitions highlighted the continued development of track and field talent from the British Virgin Islands. Jacka Wooding, 284 News. And viewers, with that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Pop the Balloon or Find the Connection. Let's meet our first contender, ladies. Okay, Joey, so do you have any toxic traits?
I'm very restrictive. I don't give more time. What you get is what you get. I don't like to give unlimited time. That's it.
Okay, can you tell us why you popped your balloon?
That's a little too restricted for me.
Thank you for coming. Okay, ladies, so let's meet our second contender.
Sorry, excuse me. Why did you pop a balloon? I could give you minutes, data, unlimited call, overseas call, fiber. What else you need?
My friend used to date you. You are a scam. She used to be for everything and more. Nothing to offer.
Okay, ladies, let's welcome our last contender. You look nice. Can you tell us your name?
Thank you. My name is Christian Charles Thomas. They call me C Sweetie.
What do you have to offer these ladies?
Well, security, trust, unlimited time, and a pretty fast.
Okay, so do you have any deal breakers?
Nah, but here's my number. 444-4444. Y tú, vida ilimitada.
Okay, guys, so no pop balloons.
For a fast, reliable, and secure connection for your personal or business life, call us at 444-4444 or visit any of our CCT stores and we'll get you connected with the perfect match for you.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. 284 Media recently caught up with Walter Barrett, lead instructor for Baltimore Security Services, about the upcoming April 26th workshop designed to equip women with critical skills in safety, awareness, and protection. Here's a look at that discussion. Are you looking forward to the event?
Hi, I'm doing well, and yes, I'm definitely looking forward to this event. It's promising to be very insightful, exciting, a very great learning experience for women that I know is going to empower them and give them an edge that they didn't have before. So looking forward to it.
Awesome. Now, I always wonder, how do people come up with the idea that, okay, I'm going to do this event, or it's timely for me to do this event? What was the driving factor behind deciding to do this now?
Well, it's a couple things, but mostly persons who actually approach me, particularly women who just wanted to learn how to defend themselves. Have a couple persons that I know of personally who were actually attacked. They were attacked physically by men in their lives, and those men that they trusted. And so doing this in a group setting instead of just doing it one-on-one is something that I shared. And Baltimore Security Services is a company that prides itself in doing stuff within the community to help to build the community. And when I pitched the idea to management, they were enthused and they were like, yeah, let's do this. So that's where we are now.
All right. Now, outside of those people who would have came to you, of course, who would you say is the target audience, or who do you think would benefit the most from coming to the training?
Any woman that wants to be safe, any woman that wants to learn how they can protect themselves if the need arises, women who've already gone through traumatic experiences that wish they had those tools in their toolbox at that time. It's never too late. Any age group, come on out once you're a woman, once you want to be empowered, you want to learn how to protect yourself, you want to learn how to be aware of your surroundings, what to look for. Those are the persons that we're looking for. So all women.
All right. Now, you did mention women, so I'm assuming it's 18 and over, or what's the age range there? What's the minimum age, I should say?
Well, yeah, we're generally catering for adult females, 18 years and over. You know, if a mother feels that she has a daughter maybe a little younger than that, she would like to, or even a father that they would like to see train, you know, even in dojos, you have younger girls who come out and they're training, learning karate, learning jiu-jitsu. So this is a very good opportunity for females on a whole, any age, to come out and to be empowered and to, again, as I said, keep yourself safe.
All right. Now, one of the things I've heard a lot is that being able to defend yourself also increases your confidence. Is that something you would get behind? And do you think that's something women should consider when wondering if they should register?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the more you know, the more confident you are. When you know that you can go into any environment, any situation, and you know that you can handle yourself, you know what to look for. A lot of people go to parties and they go without even taking into account, hey, where are the exits? Little basic things that you should be looking for. You come out of a party, you're going back to your vehicle, do you check your 4 tires to make sure that they're aired up? Because that's one thing that in many places people like to do, slash your tire, then they're going to follow you. Whenever you stop to find out, hey, why the car feels this way, that's when they attack. So all these things, you know, we're going to give to you so that, yeah, your confidence definitely going to go through the roof.
All right. Now, it sounds like a very packed session. Can you give us the details of the event so then people know what time they would need to show up and what they can expect during the day without giving us too much information? Because, of course, you know, you have to come out to see what's happening.
Well, it's Saturday, April the 26th. It's right here at the 2nd floor of Save the Sea Center on the basketball court. We start at 9 a.m. and we want to conclude promptly at 3 p.m. Lunch will be provided. So we're going to have persons from the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force actually coming and giving some alarming statistics of, you know, domestic violence against women, particularly attacks, physical attacks that have taken place over the past year, the past 5 years. I know that persons are going to be startled when they hear the numbers right here in the BVI. There's a lot of things happening in nature's little secret that don't go out in public, so you know you don't know. But when you hear those numbers, it's gonna shock you. It's gonna startle you. So that's why we're doing this, because we want those numbers to decrease. We want women to be empowered, and we want men to know, hey, women know what they're about. You know, they're more aware, they're more alert, they're more equipped.
So here's the scenario. I just got off of work, I am walking to my car, and then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, okay.
That's not what you want to do in a case like that. So now we're going to show you what you should do, or at least one of the things that you can do to keep you alive longer.
Because I was not going to get out of that. So here's what should have happened, or what I should have done. I got off of work, I'm walking to my car, and then all of a sudden, I think I learned pretty quick. I did okay.
You did good.
For first try, yeah? Right.
So a couple of things just happened there. First of all, if ever you're approached and you're held in a chokehold from behind, struggling is the natural thing that you try to do, but actually 8 out of 10 times, a woman is not going to be able to overpower her attacker. So what you want to do in a scenario like that, as we saw she rightly did, is turn your head, first of all, away from the attack. And that gives your breathing a lot more room to keep you alert and conscious longer.
And that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com. Like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. I'm Jaka Whitting, and I will see you again next week. So have yourself a safe and enjoyable Easter weekend. Goodbye.